Will you bow your heads with me? Dear Lord, as we come before you, we're thankful for this day and your many blessings. Thankful, God, that we can see in the light of another day. We ask your blessings upon all the people that's sick and afflicted in the hospitals and family members. We ask, dear Lord, that you'd bless the families of that's had loved ones that has passed away here recently. Dear God, we ask your blessings upon this meeting, that you would challenge each one of us, that we might strive to do better, that we might serve the people of Pike County. We ask us all in the name of Jesus Christ and for his sake. And amen.
Judge, before you go farther, I'd like for everybody to remember Bob's mom. She's in the hospital and critical, and he got a call this morning that it don't look good for her. So everybody that can say a little word of prayer for his mother.
All right. Roll call, please.
Judge?
Yes.
I'd just like for everybody to remember the family of the kid that got killed in a car wreck from East Ridge High School yesterday evening. So just hope people can keep them in their prayers.
Compton boy.
The Compton boy.
Yeah. And I'm not acquainted with him, but I remember. 6 years old. There's a bunch of Comptons at the Elkhorn, and I don't.
Let me go ahead.
Roll call.
Roll call. Judge Daskins.
Yes.
Magistrate Anderson. Magistrate Compton.
Here.
Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dodson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varney.
Here.
All right. Leo, would you lead us in the pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. We need to go into executive session first. KRS, Bobby, would you read that, please?
Yes, sir. I'd like to make a motion that we go into executive session and in accordance with KRS 61.810, paragraph C, discuss proposed or pending litigation, and paragraph F to discuss specific personnel.
All right. We make a motion to go into executive session.
Got it.
Got it?
Got a motion and a second, Judge.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yeah.
Magistrate Compton.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy. Yes. Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dodson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varney.
Yes.
Judge Daskins.
Yes. All right, we'll go into executive session. The court meeting will resume. All right. Brian, not Brian, but Justin.
Yes, Judge, I have one item. It's approval to amend court order from the court meeting 4/17/18 for Janice Paul Chapman's hire date to be effective 4/10/18. That is it.
That's my recommendations. I need a roll call.
Need a second. Need a second.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Compton.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson.
Yes.
Magistrate Dodson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varney.
Yes.
Judge Daskins.
Yes. All right. For approval, discussion, adoption of a resolution permitting rebate or retention of the occupational tax license fee to an employer, MC Mining, and its operating affiliate, XL Mining LLC, meeting the criteria of its application for incentive under the Kentucky Industrial Revitalization Act. Kirby?
Okay. Judge, this is the what was in the alliance, and the assistant county attorney and I have had 2 sessions with representatives from that company, and they're making an application under the Kentucky Industrial Revitalization Act. And this is an act that is meant for companies that are showing that their operation is going to end and that their reserves are going to end at a specific time, and it's asking for the contribution of 1% of the occupational tax, which the state government then will pay 4 times over to build new facilities and get certain tax breaks. The overall project is, at the end, will be $958 million, and it is assuring that 220 coal mining jobs will be saved at the end of 2020, and that the reserves that they're going to obtain will last until at least 2032 or longer. The reserves will be tapped into by a 6-mile overhead tram going from Johns Creek over to Brushy Creek. And it's going to cost, the cost of it for Pike County will be, what we figured, 70 would be
166 or 70.
Well, it'd be $166,000 a year, but we will get a rebate back of 70-some thousand. So it's going to cost about, rounding off figures, 80,000, and it is bringing in and that money is put in reserve on interest. And if something, if for something happens that the company goes broke, anything like that, then the county gets the reserve back. Now, this is a company that's one of the few companies that's lasted through this coal cycle, and I feel that, and I think Mr. Kyle Deskins, he wants to tell you more about it, that it is a good job, good investment of the company, and that their projections are that they will be worth $958 million to us through wages and what and have you through year 2032.
You recommend that?
I recommend it, yes.
I need a motion.
Judge, before you go into letting Kyle discuss that, Herbie, can any mines qualify for or apply for this same thing this company is applying for?
Any company.
Any company could if they meet the criteria. There are certain criteria.
So it don't have to be a mines, any company.
No. This is the Kentucky Industrial Revitalization Act is specifically for coal companies.
Coal company.
Well, coal and manufacturing companies.
And manufacturing.
That's what the lady from Frankfurt told us.
But you have to have over 500 employees if you're in manufacturing, as I understand.
Not necessarily. The manufacturing side, the 500 employees is if you're going to reopen a coal producing facility and you're going to be employing 500 people in that process. From my understanding, that's part of the eligibility criteria. That's one section you can qualify under. The other section being if you have $3 million in coal reserves.
Well, if there's any coal company that'd be interested in filing under the Kentucky Industrial Revitalization Act, I can give you the KRS and the numbers to call. So this is not specifically for this one, it's specifically for this one company because they qualify. But it could be other companies going to qualify, and we'll certainly help them to get them to the right people also.
But the occupational tax is still coming in.
That's right.
The 1% occupational tax will be refunded or rebated to the company from what the employees would pay. The 1% that the company would pay on their net profit, that's still in place. That doesn't change by this agreement.
They still pay.
They still pay, yes.
I need a motion to adopt the regulated.
Rusty, was there anything you wanted to say before any final words?
Or correct anything I may have said wrong.
First off, Judge, magistrates, thank you all, members of the court, thank you all very much. I also want to recognize our general manager for MC Mining Excel, Joni Moore, is here, and also another representative of that operation, Paul McCoy, is here. Just a couple of things. First of all, thank you for the consideration. Sir, you did a great job summarizing the couple of things that I did want to correct. By our calculations, the actual occupational tax in 2017 that was collected by the county was $159,040.09. And again, we would be paying back to the county. We've agreed by a separate agreement that we would pay back. We talked about volunteer fire department, helping subsidize that, but I'll leave that to you all. And I believe you may have an agreement signed by Joni in your possession already.
That's correct, yeah.
And then so by my count, the total commitment by the county in terms of cost would be approximately $85,540.09. In exchange, we'll continue to operate, provide those jobs, and we'll generate approximately $3.5 million a year in severance tax. It looks like, according to our calculations, about $367,000 a year in property taxes, and then there's almost a corresponding amount in sales and use taxes, which I know go to the state. But these are only the direct impacts. And the other things we fail to consider sometimes are the indirect impacts, which is our suppliers and contractors. And again, we're very excited for this opportunity and for your all's consideration of this. Thank you.
Thank you, Rusty.
I need a motion to adopt the resolution.
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution.
Need a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson.
Yeah.
Anderson.
Herbie, do we need to have a reading of the resolution? I don't think we read it last time. But do we need to have a public reading of the resolution?
Probably should.
Have you got it there? Okay, yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
We'll read the resolution then.
Okay. I don't think we did last time. That's why I didn't know if we needed to or not.
Okay.
A resolution permitting rebate or retention of the occupational tax license fee to an employer meeting the criteria of its application for incentives under the Kentucky Industrial Revitalization Act. Whereas the Pike County Fiscal Court has adopted an occupational license fee ordinance providing for an occupational license fee of 1% on certain wages, profits, and other income earned in Pike County, Kentucky, and whereas MC Mining and its operating affiliate Excel Mining, LLC, the company, has made application for certain benefits and incentives available to it under the Kentucky Industrial Revitalization Act, KIRA, as a result of its commitment to locate and create jobs and investments in Pike County, Kentucky, and whereas the Fiscal Court has been willing as one of the incentives to permit the retention by the company of its occupational tax revenues to be paid by employees of said companies of salaries and wages paid to said employees, and that the company's economic presence in the county would enhance the economic property of Pike County, Kentucky, and whereas the Fiscal Court wishes to demonstrate its willingness to accept the measure of retention of said payment or deduction by the company as described above. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Pike County Fiscal Court and pursuant to KRS 154.26-090, subsection 1F, number 1, that the court takes notice of the application of MC Mining, LLC, and its affiliate Excel Mining, LLC, the company, for benefits and incentives available to said company under the Kentucky Industrial Revitalization Act, including the application by said company for retention of or rebate to said company of the 1% occupational license fee, which would be paid by employees of said company from their salaries and wages. Number 2, that the approval herein granted is subject to the company receiving final approval on its application and meeting all terms and conditions of its eligibility for said benefits under the Kentucky Industrial Revitalization Act. Number 3, that the fiscal court does hereby resolve that the company shall be entitled to retain or to have rebated to it the occupational license fee which would otherwise be paid by employees of said company from the respective salaries and wages for so long as the company is receiving the benefits and incentives available under the Kentucky Industrial Revitalization Act. Excel Mining Project, but in no event longer than 10 years subsequent to activation of the company's project given final approval under the Kentucky Industrial Revitalization Act. The retention or rebate shall not apply to other income or net profits of the company and shall apply only to the occupational license fees on wages paid by employees. Approve this the blank day of blank 2018 in open session of the Pike County Fiscal Court.
Hey, I will withdraw my original motion, make a motion to adopt the resolution as read by Assistant County Attorney Kyle
He's
Deskins.
adopting, and you have to have a second.
I have a second. Do I need a second?
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
Second.
I'll second his motion.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Compton?
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson? Yes. Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Barney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes. All right. Adoption of a resolution for approval for the application for a Kentucky Homeland Security Grant for Pike County Solid Waste and authorization to enter into an agreement and execute all related documents. Bobby, you have.
Yeah, Judge, this is what was talked about in the last court meeting concerning a grant to purchase a scanner to go at the landfill that will measure low-level radioactive material. And we've had new regulations put in place where we have to have that. And the on this grant, its total grant's worth $36,000, and that's to purchase the equipment with and plus installation. And so it won't cost us anything unless something happened to where that they did not include installation, and then it's estimated cost somewhere around $5,000 to install if we have to do it. But they said we could include that installation fee in with the grant, so hopefully that would be approved.
Bob, I've got a question. If you detect that material, have we got a place to dispose of it as of now, or?
If it is detected, we would probably contact Doug here with emergency management, and then if it's something other that we need to take to a landfill or a place where they dispose of that, then we would have to get a permit and move it to that.
Doug, where's the nearest place that we have to dispose of that if it does detect it?
I'm not really sure. I think there's a landfill over around London that takes a lot of material like that, but I'm not sure right now. We'd have to check and see.
Is it pretty expensive to dispose of?
I've never had to dispose of any before. I couldn't tell you.
There's not one in Ashland, is there, Doug?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, all right. Someone had told me that.
I think there is.
Someone had told me that.
I think there is.
All I know of down at Ashland is a contained landfill, which like what we've got, but you know, I don't know if they've got another one
The
there.
one in Greenup County there, yeah.
Okay.
There's a special place to take oil if it's contaminated on the lot or a garage or somewhere that we have to dispose of it. There's a special place that we have to take it, and you got a special way to dispose of it. Is that right? You got to put it in a container and.
Well, at the landfill, we can take in contaminated soil as long as it ain't radioactive. But we can take that. A lot of times around these gas wells and things where they have spills and so forth, so we take that into the land.
I know one time we had to dispose of some oil that was left there by people that were there before we were at the road lot over at Phelps, and we had to put it in a special container and have it shipped to a special place. You remember that, Doug? Yep. And it was...
That was contaminated with PCBs, I believe, though.
Well, it was some old gas tanks that was in there, and then back years ago, the state highway had a garage where we had our old garage, and they had changed oil, and it was in the garage interior part. We had to take about 3 or 4 feet of that out and then have it disposed of. Jimmy, you probably remember that, and it was a pretty good task. But I just wondering what we're getting into. We need to have a plan where if this does come up, what we're going to do with the camera. If somebody comes in with it on their truck, you know, what are we going to do with it?
Initially, if it's detected, it can be placed in a place where it'd be isolated from everybody else until we can dispose of it.
All right, I need a motion to adopt the resolution.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson,
Yes.
Magistrate Compton,
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy,
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson, Magistrate Dodson,
Yes.
Magistrate Varney,
Yes.
Judge Deskin.
Yes. All right. Adoption of a resolution for approval of an application for a, excuse me, a Kentucky Homeland Security Grant for the Millard Volunteer Fire Department and authorization to enter into an agreement and execute all related documents. Doug?
Yeah, their grant is for personal protective equipment that they would wear fighting structure fires. It's helmets, the bunker coats, the bunker pants, boots, and gloves. I think it was $84,000 to outfit most of their members.
All right. I need a motion.
Motion.
Does he need to do the resolution on
Do I have a second?
that? Kyle, need to read that resolution.
That's over in your area, ain't it, Kenneth? Millard?
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Compton?
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson?
We'll do it again Tuesday.
Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Varney?
Yes.
Judge Deskin?
Yes. Established salary.
I think Bobby had something else that he was going to bring up.
I was just going to say concerning that Homeland Security grant, we do have a letter of support that is written by Dr. Rangel in support of that, so we can put with that grant.
Well, Bobby, I wonder if you could find out if we were to have radioactive stuff, where we had to take it so we could.
Okay,
I think we need to have a plan.
Yeah, we need a plan, and so it'd be posted, and maybe, you know.
I will check with our inspectors and everything and with the state and see what we need to do, and I'll report on it at our next court meeting on what
Okay,
plan.
that'd be great.
And I think we need to include Doug in on that because he's probably one of the first ones on the scene when they have something like that.
All right. Established salaries for elected county officials and their deputies. Herbie?
Judge, we've passed out the material to the members of the court, and they want to wait and to pass on it next meeting, which will be next Tuesday.
Okay, thank you. Discussion of the proposed 2018-2019 budget. Jonda?
Does the court have any guidance as to what the judge and I should use to prepare the proposed budget by May 1?
I think we had a discussion that this is the proposed budget, the judge's proposed budget.
Correct.
This is not the budget that will be finally acted on.
No, the court has the right during the month of May to make any changes to the budget before we have a first reading and sent to Frankfurt.
I think that we...
So we just want to do the judge's recommended budget at this point? Okay.
And with everything that's the proposed revenue that we have information up to.
Okay.
All right.
We'll have that ready on Tuesday.
Well, no more motion, are there?
No.
All right, now, awarding of bids, Frankie? No bids, all right. Mattress Road Work, I need a motion. Pardon? Don't have any? All right.
Motion for the road work.
We don't have any.
No road work? No?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll withdraw.
The roll call, please.
We don't need one.
Oh, you don't want it? All right. Mattress comments, Anderson,
I have no comments, Judge.
No comments, Judge.
Leo?
Just want to know if you heard anything from FEMA yet.
That's where you told me. That's where I think they are.
Yes, I have. We got a letter here we got a meeting May the 10th at 10 o'clock at Prestonsburg on the FEMA group and discussing when they're going to come in and work on the roads and look like help's on the way.
All right, good. Thanks.
So we have a meeting on the 10th and we'll discuss then and they'll tell us procedures to go through and so forth. So me and the foremans are going to go down to the meeting and discussion.
Okay.
Anything? Hillman?
Judge, I just got a few. I was glad Jackie brought that up. We've got a boat ramp over at Hatfield McCoy Park, and I think we applied for some assistance and washed all the road off, and we have applied for a grant, I guess, to try to put that back, and we need to do something on that, and I just wondered, have you heard anything other than what you just said? Will they tell you then? Did they say in that meeting?
You can run it by them in that meeting, and they might give you an answer. They might want to wait and see it. It's hard to say what they'll do then. That's the kickoff meeting to get the program started is what that is.
I know it's getting boating season over there, and a lot of people use that. And we could probably take some big rock, Doug, and haul it in there and fix it to where they can use it if Paul thinks so. But we just need to know where we're going and if we're going to get some help, you know, before we do it.
Right. We could find out on the 10th when we have that meeting.
Judge, that's all I have.
All right, Bobby?
Judge, just a couple things. I'm going to ask the court to excuse me a few minutes earlier. I got a call earlier. My mother is in the hospital over here at Pikeville, and they're requesting the family to come in there. So I just, you know, remember everybody in prayer. Remember my mother in prayer. She's 88 years old, lived a good, fruitful life, and it looks like it's coming down to the end of it. So just remember the family. Thank you.
Thank you, Bobby. All right, public comment.
Hey, Purdy, I need to see you out back for just a second.
Okay.
Well, I want to start out by giving my thoughts and prayers will be with Bobby and his family and his mother. A mother is one of the things that when you lose, there's no replacing. So let's remember them, that family, in our thoughts and prayers. And I'm here to try to, I'm looking for $1 million of lost money that maybe it's come up that maybe we can get some bridge work done, get some hard topping, and hey, Hillman may be able to get the occupational tax there a little. That's $1 million on that to do away with that.
Be good, wouldn't it?
It would. And, you know, folks, when you like people, you deal, you work with them. I'll tell you a story. Years ago, I had a business. I had a childhood friend I had let work with me. I hired him. And through the process, he was nipping a little bit and just running my business off. And one of the hardest things I had to do was to tell that feller he was fired, that I had to let him go. But when things come about, whenever someone is not doing the job they should be doing, I think it's time to take that into consideration, and I do hope the magistrates will think and do what is right for the county and for the court. And, you know, I think we're all anxious to see how that comes about. But, you know, for whatever reason, if you're not doing your job, and if you have personal problems, I think we all feel, because, hey, I've had personal problems in my life, but I tell you what, I had to go on and do my job accordingly, or else I wouldn't have a job. So that's basically about all I've got here today. I'm just going to plead with the court, hey, how about coming around and let's get these situations, get a hold of them and do what we got to do. And if looks could kill, I'd drop down here. But anyway, that's all I have to say about it. Thanks.
Thank you. All right. Let's see. What did he say? Commissioners and directors' comments. Jackie Darrell?
Only thing I have to say, if people remember John Doug, I talked to his wife the other day, and he's still dealing with that pneumonia, is improving some, and if they get that cleared up, they're going to try to work on his injuries in his spine, but if we remember him in prayer there. John Doug was a great worker and a member of the court, plus a personal friend, and kind of remember that man, if you would.
Paul? All right. A county attorney's report.
They got, I talked to him yesterday, and we're trying to find a different location to put the, spoil the material on the road, and hopefully he'll have that to the Corps this week, and then see if it's going to bring the cost down enough.
All right. County attorney's report.
At this time, the only thing we're waiting on is we're tendering the order on the UMG court case, UMG versus Pike County Fiscal Court. We had the hearing. We were tendering an order pursuant to what the judge said that day. I mean, unless there's any questions.
Yeah. All right. Pike County Judge Executive's comments.
Hold on, Judge, you passed over me.
Okay, excuse me.
We need to pay a bill to Southeast Apparatus LLC for repairs to a wrecked Kenworth tanker that we received the check for in July, and it looks like this invoice is dated in November, that we just received from Kemper Volunteer Fire Department. The amount is $32,822.41 to the repairs to Southeast Apparatus LLC.
Need a motion?
Please.
Need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Second. Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Compton?
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson?
Yes.
Magistrate Dodson? Mr. Fournier? Judge Deskins?
Yes.
I have no further business, Judge.
Judge, before you close out, I don't know if Diane's wanting to say anything about her vehicle. She wasn't here at the last court meeting, and somebody said the newspaper made a little joke, a little comment about the court buying used vehicles. And, you know, I think that when this is all said and done, we can show the people how much money that we were able to save and get good vehicles through the place there in Frankfort. And Diane told me earlier that she was well pleased, and I just wanted to comment on it, if she would.
Yes. On behalf of the Senior Citizens Board and our program, I've actually looked at several of the vehicles and was very pleased. I think they will do a good job in our delivery service. The home delivery drivers are really pleased. Now, one thing, the maintenance garage has got the state seals off, and they've got the county seals and the numbers on them, and I need to go pick them up. So my directors are just going to go and pick them one out. I think it's probably the best way, instead of relying on Paul has his hands full. So each director will go and pick out the one they want. We've not got them cleaned yet, but the jail said that they would clean all of them. So we'll take day about and get all of them cleaned on the inside, which they weren't really bad. And I also would like to thank you for the white one that you purchased for the supervisor, which is me at this time, to drive. It's really a neat little car. I love Ford Escapes. That's what you remember we bought last time that Judge Deskins was in, and it's been a really good car. So I would like to thank you, and the program thanks you also.
Thank you.
And Judge, they barred Charlie from coming down there. They said they didn't know they had a car dealer on the fiscal court, and he come down and he milked the prices down the way he wanted them, and he bought the vehicles at a pretty good.
I truly did mean to mention Magistrate Kempton's name, because everybody that went said he really did get the prices down on them, and he drove, I don't know, he went 2 or 3 trips with them to drive them back, and he said he drove them 85 miles an hour, so I don't think my drivers will be going that fast up the hollows, but thank you, Magistrate Kempton.
You're welcome.
I went down there and helped some to do this, and I got to thank Charlie there. He was one that did the great job. Thank you, Charlie.
You're welcome, Judge.
And I think the Sheriff's Department.
And Hillman went too and did a good job.
Is in process of getting his painted and getting them out to the schools to put them on the job, and he was pleased with his. And after this is all said and done, I think we can put together a package and present it to the public and show them what we have done with their money.
All right, thank you.
Do you think we can get somebody to comment on the $1 billion that was?
Mike, we're working on that issue, and I think it will be resolved in the near future.
Well, there's never any money missing. It was in her drawer and in the safe. And she's had a little bit of health problems and got behind a little bit. And she's straightening it out now, and we've had a talk with her. And she's done a great job for 32 years. Thank you. Thank you, Wanda. All right, I'll make a motion we adjourn. Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson, Magistrate Compton.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy. Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dotson.
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes, thank you.